Woohoo, we're live. Look at that, there's 4 people on already. Awesome. So you need to let me know who you are. Who are the 5 people now? Who are the 5 people? T-minus 15 seconds to go live. Oh, there's Joe. He's on there. Good evening, Joe. Good evening, everybody. This is Laird VE3LKS, and I want to welcome you to the COVID-19 Rag Chew, Week 9, Monday night edition. And got a couple of guys online already. We got Joe. VGJ's online. VA3, TPS, Steve's online. John's online. Excellent. Gary Zed. Oh, we didn't scare him off on Saturday, so that's good. Yes, the state of the emergency is extended till June, but at least they're loosening some of the guidelines, and we'll talk about that tonight. Anyways, at this time, I will take a short break, and if anybody would like to check into the Rag Chew, I would invite you to please come now. I do have VA6 HEM Mike out in Alberta. I heard him check in about a minute or two before we started, so I did put him in the log. Anybody else, please come now.
VA3 Romeo Tango Victor. VA3 DKW. Yes. VA3 BTQ. VA3 KZT. VA3 KJI. VA3 CRU. Cover Zulu. VA3 DKW. IRB. Victor Alpha 3 Tango Papa Sierra. Victor Echo 3, Victor Golf Juliet. VE3 DKW.
Come on.
Victor Echo 3 Papa Whiskey Juliet.
Okay, I'll tell you what I've got so far, and I'm sure I'm missing some because I know there was a few minor pileups. I got VA6 HEM, Mike out in Alberta, VA3 RTV, Jeffrey, VE3 DKW, Mark and Ryland, VA3 BTQ Jackie, VE3 KZT John, VA3 KJI Grant, VE3 IRB Robert, VA3 TPS Steve, all the way up there in Fenland Falls, VE3 VGJ Joe, and VE3 PWJ Peter, and I think I also heard Bill in there, VE3 CRU, so I'll put him in. Anybody else that I missed?
V3 CWR. VA3 WBZ.
Okay, I got VE3 CWR, that's Gerard. I got, I believe it's VA3 WBZ William, and there was one other station, but I couldn't make it out. Let's try that again.
VE3 LWJ.
Okay, I copy Larry, VE3LWJ. So with that, wow, that's 14 check-ins already. Let's go back to the top of the list. What a beautiful evening this is, too. Why is it that it always gets nice after my workday is through and before we have to do the Ragnet? Oh, well, that's life, and we will continue on. So yes, things are starting to loosen up a bit in Ontario, and I know I took full advantage of it on the weekend. I felt like I had busted out of jail, man. I went to Princess Auto and Canadian Tire. I know, living on the edge, but it was just something I felt I needed to do. And Princess Auto is one of those stores. I went in there looking for about $15 worth of parts that I needed, and I think I came out with like 45. Uh, it's the equivalent of Costco is to a lot of people. That's what Princess Auto is to me. Anyways, Mike, VA6 HEM.
Good evening, Laird. VA6 HEM here. Beautiful Calgary. Not too bad today. Bit of overcast. I think it's like 9 degrees, so I can't be complaining too much. And yeah, I keep forgetting that you guys were like on total lockdown over there, so there was nothing open except the essentials like Walmart and Costco. I had to wait for 3.5 hours in lineup because I seen the lineup there when I was there to pick up my stuff. That was outrageous, unbelievable. But unfortunately, we don't have that here, Laird. I mean, we were in a lockdown, but not as tight as you guys were. We could actually go to Canadian Tire or go to Rona, Home Depot, whatever we wanted to do. We could go, but we're in a lineup, right? So you're basically limited to people in the stores. Some stores were like 250, some were less, depending on the size of the store, stuff like that, right? But yeah, we still had our openings, but very, very limited people in the store. So other than that, not much else to report here. Just do some HF and play on the radio. Back to you, Laird.
Okay, very good. Yeah, it's interesting how the different provinces, even in just regular times, I know Alberta. A lot of the stores don't even close on stat holidays. They stay open. Where here in Ontario, they don't. They shut down. So it's interesting the differences between the provinces. VA3 RTV Jeffrey, and how are you doing this evening? Hopefully, a lot better.
Yes, good evening, Laird, and everybody. Yes, good lot of check-ins already. Goodness. Any case, no, I'm not a complainer, but and I do have a spare leg, so I'm okay that way. But tomorrow is a hospital day, and so is Thursday and Friday. So hopefully I'll know what's going on because I've already had my MRI and that. But yeah, I'm just taking pain pills and what have you, so, and falling asleep when I can. Sorry about that with the Zoom meeting there, but yeah, it's a bit of a thing. Any case, so I've got some good news. We have mercury vapor lights on our street, and wouldn't you know it, that the one that's at the end of our driveway, we've been here sort of 20 years, has always been flickering. Of course, it gives interference. Today, our whole street got new lights. They're all LED. So I was really chuffed about that, and I actually went and gave the fellas a coffee for just a kind thing to do. So, any case, things are looking up. And with that, back to you, Laird.
Interesting. Now, did you say you were getting interference off those lights?
Yeah, the mercury vapor keeps trying to strike into light, and I went out there with a small radio off frequency, and yeah, you could hear the noise from the light. So yeah, mercury vapor's it's not the friendliest things for being around amateur radio.
Okay, very good. I know in our neighborhood they switched to LEDs, probably about 2 or 3 years ago. And the thing I find interesting is quite often I'll go for a walk late at night, and the shadows are different. The shadows aren't like a smooth edge on them anymore. They're almost like a whole bunch of little squares. And that's probably because the LED lights are a whole bunch of little squares, so the varying lights are coming through. And so it almost looks like some of that military camo that's done up as squares, and I found that was quite interesting. VA3 BTQ Jackie, and how's my dog?
dog is sound asleep, and I don't quite know why, because he didn't walk today. He's just been sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. Over.
Oh, very good, Jackie. Well, he's probably afraid that if he moves a bit, you'll think that he's awake and then haul him out on a walk. So, excellent, and glad things are going well. VE3 DKW Mark and Ryland.
Good evening to everybody on the net and Laird. So, not too long ago, we just got our nano VNA, and we pulled it out of the box, looked at it, and powered it on. Battery was not charged, so we charged it up. Powered it on, worked, turned it back off, and then turned it back on, boom, didn't work. Didn't even last 5 minutes, so we're going to send it back and get a new one.
Oh no, that's too bad. That's interesting. I wonder what would have caused that, especially since it fired up and that when you turned it on the second time, did you have the power cable in it still?
Nope. But we tried it with the power cable on. Yeah, it still doesn't work though, like with the power cable or without it. So blue light lights up, but nothing else.
Okay, very good. Well, I think Amazon's having a tough week this week because you know what? I ordered a part for my wife's vehicle last week. It was the turn switch that's on the side of the steering column, and it arrived about 2 days after I ordered it, but they sent the wrong part. They sent the windshield controller instead, and so I had to send it back, and now I'm waiting for the turn signal to arrive again. So it's funny how the first one got to me in 2 days, and now this one could take up to 2 weeks. So I'm not sure what part of the planet it's coming from, but yeah, they're not. Amazon isn't making their money on our shipping this week. Hey, Mark and Ryland. Very good. Well, hopefully you'll get it soon, and you'll get that up and running again, because you'll really enjoy it. VA3 KGI Grant.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody on net. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I ordered 3 coax jumpers, stuff I could have made myself, but anyway, from a guy who's taken over from Bob from Maple Leaf. So I haven't got them yet, but I ordered a new 2-meter handheld on a Friday, and it showed up on a Sunday from Radio World for $12. You can't really beat that kind of shipping. But it is pretty funny. Costco has lost probably a third of the stuff I've ordered from them online. I mean, it's luckily we're not desperate for it and stuff, and I totally understand the stress they're all going through, because the only traffic I see on my street is UPS, FedEx, and Canada Post trucks. Back to you.
Yes. Now, one thing I would suggest if you're ordering stuff, especially like from Amazon and some of these other online places, if they give you the option of having it delivered to a postal outlet, do it. I know someone around the corner from us, they ordered something. It came pure later. It got dropped off on their front porch, and before they could pick it up, someone had stolen it. It was a Apple tablet. So I mean, that's not going to be a cheap replacement, although they'll probably get that refunded. But still, it's just this fact that you don't have it. So I know with Amazon, I usually have it, unless I'm going to be home and it's a small item that'll fit in my mailbox. I have everything shipped to the convenience store up here by King and Town Line. There's a place in there next to Walmart called Rave Convenience, and they have a postal outlet. So I get everything shipped there, and then I don't have to worry about it. I just go in there, they check my ID, and I walk out with my package. So I don't have to worry about someone lifting it, because that's what people are doing. They're actually following these couriers around, and as soon as the courier turns a corner, they're out of their vehicle and absconding with packages. VE3 IRB, Robert. Oh, maybe Robert had to go somewhere, so we'll try him again in a minute. VA3. TPS, Steve.
Okay, good evening, Larry, and to everybody on frequency tonight. Well, it was a quiet weekend, not too much. Just played with see my grandson, and that was always, of course, outstanding. And I've made my list for Canadian Tire, and I'm going to make my first trip into the store there hopefully tomorrow and do the shopping. It's been a while. Boy, you don't know how much you miss until you don't get in that store. Other than that, not too much to report, Larry. Back to you.
Okay, well, have fun at Canadian Tire. I know I did. It's funny how you don't realize how much you miss doing some of these things until you can't do them. And I needed some things at Canadian Tire anyways, but it was nice just to be able to go in and pick them up and not have to try to order them and then wait a day or two and maybe not have it show up. And so it was nice. Yeah, definitely great to get out and stretch the legs and pick up some supplies. Let's see if Robert's back. BE3 IRB.
BE3 IRB. Sorry, I'm on the phone right now. I'll have to get back to you on next go around.
Okay, no problem, Bob. VE3 VGJ Joe.
Good evening, Larry, and everybody on frequency. A couple things. Got a chance to see the snowbirds there on Sunday go over. I went all the way over to Bennett Road, got a nice view of the water. And what did they do? They flew north of us between 401 and Highway 2. And then I saw them head over to Bowmanville and head north. My neighbor told me if I'd stayed home, I'd have been to see them go right over the house. So what are the chances there? That was kind of fun. And good, nice little thing to see everybody there on Saturday. That was kind of funny with the snow there. On the drive home, I'm going along down 57 or Bowmanville Avenue, as they call it now, and there was a guy out there cutting his grass, and it was snowing out. That was something kind of funny to see. And Roger on the store is on the way home from work today. I thought I'd stop in at the Home Depot there. I got a little thing I wanted to get. Well, there had to be 25 people lined up out front, and I think I'd pass on that. So I came home, and later on after dinner, I went over to Newcastle, the Home Hardware there, and walked right in. No problem at all. It's kind of nice getting back to the old ways there. Back to you.
Yeah, we actually got lucky. My son and I went over to Princess Auto on Sunday, and we just got lucky. We walked right in. Someone had just come out, and the guy said, "Oh, you're lucky. Go right on in." So we got right on in, and it was good. And let me tell you, they're well stocked anyways, that's for sure. Them and Canadian Tire. I guess they've had lots of time to ramp up, so everything is overflowing, but I guess they did that on purpose because they know that everything's going to be gone in the first few days probably. And let me tell you, finding a takeout for Mother's Day was fun too. But maybe we'll discuss that on the second go around, what you guys did for Mother's Day, if you did anything. VE3 PWJ Peter.
Well, good evening, Larry, and all the good folks there tonight. And the snowbirds was sort of ready for us. I had the Nikon out with the 300 mil lens on it. They went right over our backyard, if you can believe that. They were sort of tilted over, but I got probably about 10 shots off, and they were gone. It was pretty quick, but it was quite nice to see them, that's for sure. Go and get some more beans there, Laird.
Well, Peter, some people would say I'm full of beans, so yeah, we'll get some more. Don't worry. There's a lot of guys online tonight that have sort of checked in, so when they start coming on too, it's going to pump up the numbers a good amount on the radio here. Bill, VE3 CRU, and I think you were you doing a contest this weekend? No, though, I think that was Bob HIX. Anyways, take it away, Bill. Did you get all your lawn and the forest raked up?
VE3CRU here.
Yes, I'm looking at the yard waste bags here. I've got, I don't know, 20 some out here to be picked up tomorrow. Hopefully I'll take them all. And I've got a couple of scraps of wood still in the back, but if I don't get them this week, I'll get them 2 weeks from now. There's no urgency on that. But it's been sort of an interesting time. Friday I had a scrap with my next door neighbor there. Because I took a fence down to get at all the weeds growing between his pool fence and the property line. He wants to lay claim to the fact that that means the property line now moves over to his pool fence, which would automatically make me responsible for maintenance and replacement of the rotting 30-year-old wooden fence. I couldn't even get away with that kind of stuff. And so his fencer came out on Saturday, and I think the fencer would probably set him quite straight on that, on his twisted ideas of how he can get money out of me. And I might mention that for the past at least 25 years, he has had a major dependency on alcohol. You know what that does to people. So anyway, Sunday there, they say Mother's Day, I spent most of my time here and getting stuff ready. And so late and quiet. Then today, as I say, a bit more out here. I went out to Tim Hortons for the first time in weeks and had the worst bagel I've ever had at Tim Hortons. I think they're cutting back there to try and save money. But while waiting for the net to start, I opened up my mail. I've got my mail from my major investor, and the balance between January and now is not good. It is negative, as we might expect, but you have no control over it. Like they say, if you're in it for not to panic, if you're in it for the long run, just hang in there. History has proven that everything will pick up. And as they say, I hope that holds true now. But other than that, well, not much else to say at the moment. Back to that.
Okay, very good, Bill. And yeah, getting back to the bags, they should take all your recycle bags there, the compost bags, because there's no limit on those. So you could have your boulevard just plastered with them, and they'll take them all. So you'll be fine there. No problems. Let's see. VE3 CWR Gerard, and you're sounding good tonight.
Yeah, okay, Lars, very good. Yeah, we had good Mother's Day here. We got fresh salmon and lobster tails. Oh, was it good? And fresh hard bread. And this morning I went to Canadian Tire, 9:30 over here in Bowmanville, and walked right in. There's two ladies there. They pump the stuff on your hands, and you go do your thing, and was lots of room. And you walk out, and just in the hallway when you're going out, there's two more ladies, and they pump your hands full of stuff again. So all in all, it went pretty good. And I went to Tim Hortons, and I don't know what kind of a bagel you got, but I got a nice cinnamon bagel and a medium coffee double cream, and it was scrumptious. Back to net.
Yeah, I still haven't used my gift card yet that one of my coworkers sent me. So maybe sometime this week I'll sneak out for my coffee break and go to Tim Hortons, go through the drive-thru and grab something. But very good. Yeah, and it could be too that just having to do drive-thru all the time, their sales are probably down too. Because I know drive-thru is a major, like a good portion of their business, but still, you never know what to stock. It's hard. When something gets thrown at you like that, and all of a sudden you got to readjust and try to figure out what are the people going to want. The joys of being in retail. Let's see, VA3 WBZ William. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, William here. Hope everyone's doing well today. This is a rainy day. I was, I'm going to change my name from William to Manuel because I was doing manual labor today. A friend of mine's working on a house there, so I helped him clean up the outside yard and all that. I filled up a bin with all the leftover construction equipment that was just laying around. Man, that's hard work today. I got aches and pains. I didn't know you could have aches and pains in. Nothing else is going on. It's been a nice weekend. Barbecue yesterday. Steak. That was a real good thing. I think I'm going to get on myself one of these charcoal barbecues. When you do steak, that tastes so much better on the barbecue on charcoal than it does the gas. So I think that's my next step, is to get myself a little charcoal barbecue someplace. I'll probably find one on the side of the road, bring it home and clean it up. That'll do the trick. Nothing radio work going on. I haven't done anything to my small engine today because I was working. Tomorrow it's starting to sand down the gas tank for this thing, the fuel tank, which is also the base. So I'm going to start on that tomorrow with the palm sander. And then I'll have to go to Crappy Tire and get some paint for it, I guess. See if I can find some olive paint, something like that. Military thing. See if I can find some of that. Nothing else, guys. Just keep our fingers crossed. Everyone stay healthy. And maybe here for the second round. If not, then I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night there. VA3 WBZ.
Okay, William. Well, it sounds like your project's coming along nicely, and yeah, you should be able to get drab olive green paint at Canadian Tire. If not, Home Depot, I'm sure, will have a selection as well. So either place, you should be good to go. Those are usually my go-to places for spray paint, and they usually don't let you down. And I think I just realized, did I miss John, VE3KZT? If so, John, please accept my humblest apologies. I only do that to people that I like, so take it away.
Yeah, okay. Okay, good evening there, Nolan. Well, that's fine. That just puts me in line for the Colty. Nothing new here. Didn't do much on the weekend. Girl's daughter and son-in-law come down to give her a happy Mother's Day, standing out in the front porch, we could imagine. But nothing else, just hanging around, trying to stay cool and trying to get something done with these old legs of mine. But that's difficult to do, too. Anyway, back to net, and we'll be hanging around here. The VE3KZT will be listening.
Excellent, John. And yeah, it was a rough weekend for Mother's Day. You can't go to a restaurant, and let me tell you, ordering in was also very challenging. One place we called, since it was, I didn't get to pick the restaurant, my wife did, and she really likes Thai food, and there's a place up in, I think it's Trolls Road and Taunton Road, called Country Perks. I know it sounds like a coffee shop. It used to be a coffee shop. But now they've got all different types of food in there, Caribbean, Thai, you name it. And it's really, really good. So we called an order in at around 3:30. And I told the girl when I first got on the phone, I said, now listen, I said, we don't need this until about 5 or 5:30, but I just wanted to call it in early. And she said, well, that's a good thing. She says, because it won't be ready till 8:45. That's how far backed up they were on their takeout orders. She says, we're just swamped. So I said, okay, well, I'll take a pass now. We're regulars, but we'll take a pass today, and we'll come back another night and have that. And yeah, it was just crazy. And all the places were quite busy for takeout as well. We ended up with Barnaby's, and I don't say ended up to be derogatory or negative, but that was our second choice. So we were able to get an order in at Barnaby's, and let me tell you, the stream of people coming in and out the door to pick up orders, everyone was distancing properly, but the poor girl on the phone, she was on the phone the whole time I was in there. And I was there for about 20 minutes in line waiting to get stuff, and she was just busy the whole time. Anyways, VE3 LWJ, Larry, good evening.
going on the net. I'm staying pretty close to home. We're just punching around. Joan's working in the yard quite a bit. Today I put down fertilizer. As far as going to stores, the only building I've been in the last 6 weeks, I guess, was a bank. Went into bank last week to deposit a check. That's the first time I've ever been at a bank with a mask on. Somehow I got away with it. That's you, Laird.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, who knew that you could go to a bank and wear a mask and no one would think twice of it? Some poor sap's gonna come in to try to rob it, and they're just gonna start laughing. And but very good, Larry. I know I had to deposit some checks too, but I do mine with that photo deposit now, where you just get the app for your phone from your bank, and you can just take a picture of the front and the back, and you can deposit it right from your phone. So it saves a lot of trips to the bank, especially if you don't get a lot of checks. I only get a couple of checks maybe once every couple of months, and that's it. So I just do it that way. Something to consider anyways. With that, we're at the bottom of the list. We're at 14 people on the radio, another 5 online. So if anybody would like to check in with the Rag Chew on the repeater, now's your opportunity. This is Laird of VE3LKS.
VE3 X-ray Echo, Quebec.
Okay, I copied VE3 X-ray Echo Quebec. That's Christopher. And did I hear Bob, VE3HIX, the other call? Go ahead.
Yes, that was me, VE3HIX.
Victor Alpha 3 Delta Charlie Echo.
Doug, up in Uxbridge. Okay, I acknowledge Christopher, XEQ, Bob, HIX, Doug, DCE. Anybody else wishing to check in at this time? Okay, nothing heard. So the topic du jour is, now that things are starting to relax a bit, did you take advantage of it and go to somewhere like Canadian Tire or Princess Auto on the weekend and feel like you had just got out on bail or something? Up to you, Christopher.
Yeah, how you doing there, Laird? And good evening, everybody. Laird, you know me, I always go off topic, and I was a little depressed today. You know, I went to see my psychiatrist there yesterday, and he told me, in confidence, but I thought this is worth sharing, he said, Christopher, you know, if you just try to act a little more normal when you meet people, you might be accepted more readily. So that's his office. I thought, that's all right. You know, it seems... And when I thought about it, and finally, I said to myself, no, I don't think he's right at all. I think people should accept me for the way I are, or the way I is. And I'm going back to give him a piece of my mind. And when I called back to the reception, so they said they couldn't figure out what hospital he was in after the last session he had with me was pretty traumatic. See, I don't understand. That's the third one this month there, Larry. Must be me.
Oh man, I love your humor, Christopher. And what you need to do is the next time one of them tells you that you need to start acting more normal, and you should say, hey, you should listen to the guys that I hang out with every night at 7 o'clock. He says, I'm mild compared to them. So let him know that you're just a very light case and easy to deal with. And if he really wants something, he'll come and listen in online, and then he'll probably never be found again. Very good, Christopher. Let's see. Who's next on the list? Bob, VE3HIX.
Good evening, Larry. Good evening, everybody on the repeater. I came in a bit late today. This weekend, I didn't get any shopping done, but I did stay behind for a couple of days and take part in the Straight Key Century Club Weekend Sprint, which they have once a month. No particular themes this month, but I thought things were going fairly slowly compared to field day until I realized, of course, that the whole idea is to use either a straight key or a bug to put out perfect sounding code, not to in mind and in spirit, things turned out fairly nicely. Got some nice contacts, and it's a pretty friendly bunch. Over.
Excellent. So do you mind if we ask how many contacts you ended up making over the weekend?
Less than 20. I was just giving other people contacts. I wasn't in this to win anything or spend a whole lot of time. But one thing I did find out is that when they give the time in universal coordinated time when it starts and stops, because it's an open club type of thing, people don't pay any attention to that at all. They just go right through because nobody's keeping score on this stove hour.
Okay, that was an interesting drop of the tail. Okay, okay, very good, Bob. Well, I'm glad you had a good time and made some other amateurs happy to make a contact. And I know you really enjoy the Morse code, and that's the nice thing about our hobby. There's so many different things that you can be involved with that you don't have to necessarily like everything that everybody else does. And I think it's great that you get on with the code. I know I'm always amazed when we do a field day and you and, oh, what's his name? Anyways, that fellow from Scarborough sit there and do code. I'm just in awe at how fast you guys can just zip through them. And it's like, what? Oh, very good. VA3 DCE, Doug, way up there in Uxbridge.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody on the net tonight. Haven't done anything since the last time I talked to you.
What?
Yesterday I got out for a walk. Shouldn't say that. I wait till after the weather improved during the day. Got out for a walk. Today I stepped out on the balcony, turned around, went back inside and closed the balcony door again, and that was it for the day. As far as you're visiting, Princess Auto and Canadian Tire, I'm saving that till there are no more lanes, and another day or so I may have to give it a try, but I am getting awfully tired of this behaving myself and being good. It's really wearing me right out. Back to you, Laird.
Yes, being good is hard, let me tell you. But we still make the best of it. I know on the weekend, a bunch of us went grocery shopping and met up, and that was nice to have a coffee. And we weren't in a group large enough for some nib-nose to phone the cops on us. And we got some good groceries and enjoyed some good company. And then Saturday afternoon, a bunch of us were online again doing another Zoom meeting where we talked about radio equipment and chirp programming for your radios and stuff like that. It went a lot longer than I thought, but it's funny. Once you get started, you don't realize how fast time goes by. Although I was watching the replay this afternoon, I think Bob was nodding off a bit once in a while. Hi. Either that, he was deeply contemplating the wonderful words that I was saying. But yeah, it was quite enjoyable. So let me see. I'm going to take one more quick standby. If there's anybody else that would like to join in the Rag Chew this evening, now's your opportunity. This is Laird VE3 LKS.
VA3 AMP in the Lazy Boy.
VA3 AMP Alex, good evening. And what kind of baked goods did you make this weekend? I didn't see anything on Facebook, but I'm assuming that you were doing something in the kitchen.
No, I just played vegetable and sat and watched TV. And downstairs playing with the computer. And my hotspot there for my DMR radio went down, and I was trying to figure out how to get it back up again. Driving me a little bonkers working with that. When I go to try to log into Bandmaster there, couldn't even find that in the web browser.
Yeah, that's not good. Usually with the hotspot, you just power it off and plug the cable back in. It turns back on, and away you go. But if that doesn't work, then that usually means something got messed up. So That's too bad. And yeah, Brandmeister. Yeah, I thought you did have a link there for that, but it's been a few years since we looked at that. So, worst case scenario, I think you can always go to the club website. I've got it linked there on the digital page. Oh, very good. Well, we're gonna look way up, all the way back up to Mike, VA6 HEM. So, what kind of fun stuff did you do for Mother's Day? Uh-oh, we've lost Mike, so we'll try him again in a minute. VA3 RTV.
Yeah, hi, I am here. I'm having a bit of a job to sit down because it hurts, but I'm sitting down at the moment, so I'll try and make it quick. And didn't really do much fun on Mother's Day, except quick little story. I went to the dollar store because they seem to be open, and I like the little gadgets they have there. And they are selling for $4 Bluetooth, and it's a clip. It fits in the palm of your hand. It'll answer your phone. It syncs really easy without any password or anything. And I'm very, very impressed. You can have your phone in your jacket pocket, and you can have this clipped on your lapel or whatever. And they're beautiful. I took one apart to see what's inside. Nice little speaker and what have you inside. And so I went for a walk with it, and I was playing some music from my phone, and then all of a sudden it stopped, and a voice memo came on, and it was my mum talking about me, and of course this she's been dead like 3 or 4 years, so it's quite old, but it was really neat, and it was Mother's Day, and I thought, wow, that's like a message. So thought I'd let you know that. But in any case, if anyone's interested in those little Bluetooth things, I was there today. I got another one, and I got one for my brother who will be coming over shortly. So one of the best deals going at the moment. Back to you, Led.
So is it a speaker as well as a microphone?
Yeah, it's self-contained speaker, microphone, built-in battery, comes with the charger. It's made by iHome. Very nicely made. Honestly, I'm just absolutely thrilled with it. It works so well. So highly recommend it. Back to you.
Okay, very good. I'll have to go there and give that a shot to see if I can find another one. I like going to Dollarama too. They got all sorts of neat stuff, and that's where I get a lot of the boxes that I store my ham radio equipment in. And actually, we pick up, Scotty and I will actually pick up supplies there to fix Jimmy's head when he's bleeding profusely. So I know Jimmy's online tonight, but I can jab him from on the radio, and he really can't talk back until he goes and gets on his microphone. Let's see if Mike's back. VA6 HEM. Well, let's hope that Mike didn't forget about Mother's Day and that he just got clunked over the head with a frying pan, but hopefully he'll be back. VE3 DKW, Mark and Ryland. And Ryland, I wanted to mention that the latest email from Princess Auto has they got 4 little projects. They got this thing all about projects, and one of them is a garden tractor that they've made into a sort of like a hot rod. So I'm just wondering if you've seen that, and if not, you'll need to go to the Princess Auto site and see if you can find it.
No, I'm actually pretty interested in it, but I didn't see the email, so I'll go check that out after the net. And that's all I have to say for now.
What?
Talk to you guys tomorrow, and good night.
Excuse me. Okay, very good, Ryland. And thanks for checking in with the Rag Chew this evening. And yes, definitely look forward to chatting with you guys again tomorrow night. And if I find the email, I'll forward it to you guys as well. VA3 BTQ Jackie. And how about the horse? Did you get the horse out for a run today? Or the horses, I should say.
Hi, Laird, and everybody else on net. Yes, I got the horses, both of them, out today. We had a great ride. Couple of things. I tried to get onto the Zoom on Saturday and didn't have any luck. Too bad. I'm disappointed. And the other thing was, my Mother's Day, my brother and I decided to have a reminiscence about our mother. We talked on the phone for over an hour and a half and brought up all sorts of things in our past life, including Camp X. Over.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jackie. Camp X. Did your family actually live right there on the grounds?
Yes, we actually moved into the Sinclair house. That was our first stop. And then I'm not quite sure how long we were there, maybe a year or two. And then we moved into PMQs inside the camp. Over.
Okay, cool. And another leading question: do you have any pictures from that time of the places where you lived and of Camp X?
No, I don't. I was only 8 years old, but I was talking to Jeffrey the other night. I am in the process of doing a presentation on what I remember of Camp X. So I'm doing a bit of background presentation on what I remember of Camp X. So I'm doing a bit of background checking and just making sure my facts are right. So hopefully something will come later. Over.
Okay, very good. Well, we will definitely be glad to have you as a presenter at one of our club meetings, Jackie, because I know just about everyone in our club is interested in Camp X because of the close ties we have with it. As a matter of fact, some of our club more or less was founded out of Camp X, and a lot of our founding members were radio operators and employees there at Camp X. So that's amazing. And for those of you who may not know, Camp X, not only was it a spy training camp, but they also had huge radio transmitters there that were used to communicate messages back and forth across the Atlantic between here and Bletchley Park. So, we have a radio link there as well. Let's see. Jeff hasn't shown. I don't know what's going on tonight. Hopefully nothing ill toward has come of Jeff, and hopefully maybe he's just taking the night off. So, but we'll move down to the list here now to John. I won't forget you this time, buddy. VE3KZT.
Okay, well, we're still hanging in there. Nothing new to report. Just kind of laying back here and wait for the weather to get a little better so I can get out in the yard. And that's all. I have nothing new to report, and hopefully things will get better so I can get together with some of the fellas and discuss building antennas. So back to net. VE3KZT will be clear, and we'll catch you tomorrow evening.
Excellent, John. Yes, it'll be nice when we can all get together again. Can't come soon enough, as far as I'm concerned, but we'll have to use our better judgment. Hi. And just out of curiosity, I know you teach at Durham. Is Durham any talk of them opening up for the summer session or anything?
No. Well, I don't know about the rest of it, but my end, the trade campus down on in Whitby right now, nothing going on till September, as far as I know, unless something changes in the meantime.
Okay, very good. Thanks for that update, John. And I was just curious as to what they were doing with all that, because I know there's going to be a lot of kids that are going to need to do a lot of catch up, and their schedules are all messed up now. Let's see, VA3 KJI Grant.
Yeah, hi there. We're just talking about Mother's Day. We didn't do all that much. My daughters came over and spoiled my wife, and I made her breakfast and supper, so she was pretty happy. As far as Father's Day going, I know we haven't talked about that. My biggest wish would be that we can actually get out of this self-imposed prison we're in, so to speak. Like, I know it's all done for the right reasons, but it is playing a bit thin on most people. We're actually getting to go to Canadian Tire tomorrow. My wife doesn't trust me going out by myself because she figures I'll lick something, or I can't walk by something without touching it, so I have to go with my hands in my pockets, and she does all the shopping. Back to you.
Oh, that's funny. Yes, it's interesting what people will think other people will do, but well, I'm glad you're going to be able to get out for a bit and take advantage of that, and even if it is just to be the guy pushing the cart, and make sure you follow the arrows. Though the last thing you want to do is be going the wrong way on an aisle and be shamed by some grandfather who's 95 years old, and have him go up one side and down the other with you. Anyways, who's next on the list here? Robert, VE3IRB. Hopefully your phone call's over.
Yes, VE3IRB never fails. Phone rings at the most inconvenient time. On the weekend, I basically had some work to do. Did that. Did a lot around the house, moving, switching around some stuff, and changed my setup on my desk. Something I've been planning on doing. So I actually went to Canadian Tire, drove by, and saw the lineup, and I just kept on going. I stopped in Home Hardware, or former Home Hardware out in Curtis beside Barnaby's. Picked up some batteries there. Went to Barnaby's and got supper. So that's weekend, work, having fun, and taking precautions. I'll say 73, and I'll be monitoring.
Okay, very good, Robert. Just out of curiosity, how were the liver and onions?
It was excellent. Yeah, sorry I had to miss the end of the Zoom there, but I told them I'd ordered it about noon, told them I'd be there at 5, and I figured we'd be done by then, but when we weren't, I had to run because I had the order placed. Excuse me. The food was excellent, though. Back to you.
Okay, very good. That's all that counts. The Zoom meeting, that was just optional, so I have no problems with people coming and going on those. But yeah, that's good. I'm glad you're able to get over there and to try that out. Oh, you guys and your liver. I just don't understand it. Let's see. And Grant, I almost was gonna ask Grant if he gave his wife pickled eggs for breakfast, but I won't go back to that. Just the thought of it. Steve, VA3 TPS.
Okay, Larry, very good. Well, another great conversation. I want to say thank you again for being here every night at this time. It takes a bit of a commitment, not missing a night, and being on there to spearhead this the Ragnet. It's great. We really appreciate it. And other than that, not too much. I'll be here to the end listening. I'll say 7-3 for tonight, and wish everybody a great night. DA3 TPS up here in Fenelon Falls.
No problem, Steve. It's always fun to do. But the good thing is someone stepped up and said they would do it for me tomorrow night. So Joe VGJ will be handling the controller feed tomorrow night. And so he'll have the live stream going and the radio and everything else. So Joe, if you have any questions about that, fire away. It's your turn.
That's a good one there. That's a good one. Very good on that. Comment about those people that follow the delivery vehicles around. I think they're called porch pirates or something there. And Yeah, great job you're doing there, Laird. But not a chance I'm going to touch it. And one thing good about these stores opening up, one thing I have to do is go to the nearest appliance place there and get some new hinges for my fridge. I think I've just about worn them off. So anyway, that's one of the projects I have to do come soon.
Oh, okay, very good. So are you going to go up to the appliance people place?
Well, I might try Patty's there up on Taunton there. I'm just kidding though, but have opened and closed that fridge quite a bit.
Yep. Yeah. And that's a good store to go to. If they don't have a part for it, no one does, I don't think. That's usually where I head to and I need to get stuff. Very good, Joel. I hope you get that fixed because nothing worse than having a bad door in the fridge. Boy, yeah, that could spell trouble. VE3 PWJ Peter.
Well, we didn't do a whole lot yesterday. The kids come over and dropped some goodies off for their mother, and we went out. We ordered over at the East Side Grill, just over close to us here. I had a steak and fries, and Diane had liver and onions there. 7-3 there.
Okay, Scotty's mentioned that place a time or two as well. Whereabouts is that? What plaza is that in?
It's Rawson and Wilson. It's just, it used to be the Metro used to be in there. Now it's the Price Choppers or something. There's a liquor store in there and a few other little places.
Oh, okay, so was that the place that used to be called the Tartan or something?
No, the Tartan is still there. And we've been at the East Side Grill a few times, and I quite like it. The food is quite good there, and I've had brekkie there and a few other things that we've had there, and we've always been quite happy with the food we've gotten there. So anyway, we'll listen for tomorrow night. I guess you said Joe's going to be on, and we'll try and get in there with him. Have a good night, Laird, and we'll talk to you maybe Wednesday night.
Yeah, and if Joe for some reason can't make it, I appreciate you volunteering to be his backup for tomorrow night, Peter. So very good. I know it's in capable hands. Hi. Now let's see. Bill, VE3 CRU.
Okay, VE3CIU here, down the microphone. Hey, you guys. Enough about food talk at Taunton Road. Food talk at Taunton Road, or not Taunton Road, but Line Road area there. Let's get some talk about nice food areas in the Whitby and Ajax area. I hear nothing about that. Let's get some talk about nice food areas in the Whitby and Ajax area. I hear nothing about looking for a nice meal, but it's a long way to go. Okay, you mentioned about contests on the weekend. Yes, there was that 6-meter thing, 7-11 on Saturday. I did not participate. I did watch the computer, watching the spotting list, and everybody's showing who they looked and the frequency that they were on, so other people watching could locate them there. But as I say, there's a lot of comments after. There's in fact, a lot of very negative comments about the use of SD8 there, Lord. But from people, some of them that tried it, to find out what it was all about, and then all of a sudden come to the realization it's not all it's cracked up to be. But for you, don't worry. We're not pointing any fingers at you because you're not a contester. This is only for contesting. If you use it for anything else like DXCC and all that, go for it. It's not contesting. And I know what I was going to say about this afternoon I've been setting up a beacon in the house. Now, if you're wondering what a beacon is, it is a radio transmitter on a specific frequency that will give out your 6-digit location. So people that want to be able to check the accuracy of their antenna will locate a beacon, and on 2 meters is nothing really around here anymore, so I'm going to be going on 2 meters initially. I can go on any band I want. is an American one, 271, and so they say it's very handy for people, especially with these crazies they call rovers, who move from location to location, and every time you stop your car is never pointing due south. I try to do it so that they take a bearing to the beacon, and then they check to see how close the antenna is to what the rotator compass does, and then they will make a fine adjustment. So if you need to get somebody with using a very narrow beam width on microwave, you know how much plus or minus to add to your rotator compass to be able to get on them. So as they say, that's going on upstairs. I'll be operating from the second level, and at the moment I'm aiming west out the 4x4 foot light dome up there on an angle on the lower roof. I'm aiming at the top of it, which just clears the house to my west. So I've got a nice clear shot going west.
Great. Okay, we caught most of that, Bill, and then it timed out. But all I can say is the next time you hear those grumpy old contesters on there, you need to straighten them out because they're obviously misinformed. The guys on FT8 don't go all over the band looking for a place to transmit from. As a matter of fact, there's only set frequencies that you can use FT8 on. For instance, on 40 meters or on 20 meters, it's 14.074. On 40 meters, it's 7.074. And that's it. You're locked onto that frequency. There's a couple of kilohertz above that, so that you may get up to 7.076 or something. But that's it. So if you got a bunch of grumpy old contesters who are trying to go on those set frequencies, then it's their own problem that they're having problems. So as the old saying goes, you can't fix stupid. So if they're intentionally going onto a frequency that is sort of locked into place for guys, and that's the only place that those guys can transmit, then Zed, are you still with us?
Further comment?
Not right now. WBZ, go ahead.
Yeah, VA3WZ, William. I'm just going to say 7-3 alert and call it a night. And we'll chit-chat you guys tomorrow night then. 7-3s, guys, all the best there, and stay healthy. Watch out for the other guys. Just remember, 6 feet apart is 6 feet under. VA3 WBZ is clear.
Oh yeah, for sure. Or as we like to say, at 2 meters, we got to keep on the 2 meter band, and that works out perfectly. It's interesting how they came up with 6 feet, or give or take a few inches, 2 meters, and that's what us hams can relate to very easily. So maybe they made it that way so that we would understand. Very good, William. Looking forward to chatting with you again tomorrow night, and good luck with your projects. VE3 LWJ Larry. VE3 LWJ Larry. Okay, nothing heard. Christopher, VE3 XEQ. Oh, I hope nothing bad happened to Christopher. Maybe he's wandered over to the fridge, because I know he likes to wander that way. We'll give him one more turn here. VE3XEQ, Christopher. Okay, nothing heard. I know it was weird because someone was on the All-Star, or not the All-Star. The All-Star, and it timed out. I wonder who that was, because maybe Mike was back. Mike, VA6 HEM, are you back with us? No, it could have been him timing out. Okay, let's see who's next. VA3 DCE. Nope. Sorry, VE3 HIX Bob. Don't want to get out of order.
Okay, not a whole lot more. I was out for a nice, fairly long walk today, and noticed that just like my own property, everybody needed to have their lawn cut. So the grass is finally up, but the temperatures are down. Someone else mentioned someone cutting the grass in the snow just recently. So if the temperature ever does go up, we can get out there without freezing to death. We'll do that this week. Back to you then, Laird. 7-3, everybody.
Yes, that's for sure. I know my grass it just got to the point too where it needed to be cut. But as you say, it's too cold. I have to almost bring the snowblower out to cut it. Oh, that would look funny. But yeah, maybe some night this weekend. It's supposed to be this temperature most of the week, I think. So it's not like we're going to be breaking any records going into the long weekend. And that's the other thing. This is a long weekend coming up. Hoo-ha. Not that we can go anywhere, but at least I'll get an extra day off on the weekend. Hi. VA3 DCE, Doug.
Well, if you're sure it's my turn, Laird, I'll take it now then. I'm planning a trip out. I have to hit Costco, 2 or 3 Canadian Tires, a dollar store. I don't know, it could be a busy day coming up. I have to plan that one very carefully. Anyway, thanks, Laird, for taking it tonight. We'll expect to see Joe on tomorrow night, and make sure we don't miss that for sure. 7-3, Laird, and back to you.
Yes, just be prepared at Costco. They line you up like almost like cattle going to the slaughter. You line up outside where they used to have the garden center, at least here in Oshawa, and then they have pallets lined up so you're almost 6 feet apart from the next row over, and you just sort of zigzag back and forth until they finally say, Mr. DCE, it's your turn to go into the store. And then you can run in and get all your goodies. Excellent, Doug. Well, good luck with that. And looking forward to a report tomorrow night on that. VA3 AMP Alex.
Yes, we're still awake. We're just listening to the conversation there. And tell Doug there, don't forget to pack a lunch there when he's out doing all the shopping there. Might wear him out. Yeah, it's been kind of cool, but we take the weather as it comes and goes. We're in Canada. We're tough. We'll survive through all kinds of weather. But, yeah, I was up early this morning. Don't have to get up early tomorrow. And then the next day, well, who knows? It's up and down like a toilet seat. At least with your job, it's consistent what time you start and finish. Mine's who knows when and where. Back to you. Oh, before I sign off, I'm going to sign off and have a good night. VA3 AMP Clerk.
Okay, very good, Alex. Just a quick question. Do you have many runs coming up this week?
They're going to be. Every day is a different adventure.
Excellent. Well, that's good. Variety is the spice of life, and yeah, today was different. You most days by about 2 o'clock it slowed right down, just because no one's around to come into my office to bug me. But today, man, I worked almost till 5 o'clock. So they just had a whole bunch of reporting they wanted to get done, and so I got quite a bit of email sent my way this morning, and it took me quite a while to clear the backlog of to-do list, but that's okay. It keeps you, I'd rather be busy than not busy, because when you're busy, the time just flies. When you're not busy, oh man, that's terrible. Let's see if Larry's back. VE3LWJ. I wonder if Larry's out banging the pots and pans, because I know they do that in the evening. Let's see. VE3XEQ, Christopher.
Yeah, Laird, I hate to admit it, but when you called me, I had my face full of pizza.
Oh!
Went to Little Caesars. It's only about 2 blocks from here. Big road trip of the day. Went over to Little Caesars, got that new pizza, the one cheese or something it's called. It's got pile of cheese in the outside crust. It's fantastic. It's really, really good. And Steve got himself I don't know, a meat one, whatever. But then we hit the pharmacy and what's the name store, got some pop and all the rest of it. So after being depressed from my last transmission, I'm trying to eat myself happy. Never seems to work, but I do give it a good old college try. 7-3, everybody. Doing a very fine job there, Mr. Yeah, you know who you are. 7-3, take care. Be kind to somebody. Back to you, Larry.
Yeah, who is that guy? Oh, very good. Yes. Well, you can't eat yourself to happiness, but you can be happy eating along the way. Let's put it that way. So, yes, I agree. And I'll have to try that. I know lately, getting on the food topic again, of course we are. I've had a couple of the pies from, what's the name of the place? It's a U.S. chain, and they just opened one up. It's up on Simcoe Street, near where the breakfast place is. But they're pretty good. And all of a sudden, the name's gone. Oh well, I'll think of it for tomorrow night. With that being said, I'm going to take one last call for check-ins. So if anybody's lurking on this side and would like to add a bean to the pot, now's your time to pop in. This is Laird VE3 LKS.
Contact as usual.
Okay, nothing heard for more check-ins. So I'm going to say 73s. I'm going to pull the plug and go to bed. And it's been a fun evening, guys. And look forward to doing it again tomorrow. And so if anybody has any topics that they would like to discuss tomorrow, by all means, just send me an email. And we'll go from there. I've sort of run out of topics. So I know food is always a good one, but we can only beat that horse so many times. Sorry, Jackie, didn't mean to beat a horse. But 73 is Darren. I see you online there. But if anyone's got any good topics they would like to discuss, let me know, and we will do that. So with that, I'll say 73s and wish everyone a good night. This is VE3 LKS, and I'll be clear.
RTV to lead.
VE3CRU, this week is Police Week. It's also Nurses Week. So be nice to all. There may be a display of police stuff at Oshawa Center. Bye for now.
VA3 to lead.
Jeffrey, go ahead. V3 LKS.
Yeah, thanks, Ed. When Jackie was talking, it just brought something to mind that I thought was a bit of a coincidence. I was telling her that when I used to go and see my mum and dad in Victoria, being as I like to keep busy, I went for a walk and I noticed this beam that was within walking distance of their place. So I knocked on the door, and it was this fella, an elderly gentleman, and quite distinguished. And he invited me to coffee with his club members. So from that point onwards, for about 2 years, I would regularly meet with him and the club at a restaurant and that. And I didn't really know who he was and his background, but very nice fella. One day, I'm watching television in the morning, and it's VE Day, and he is being interviewed, and he was the commanding officer at Camp X while Jackie was living there. So his name's Steve Chisholm, so he's not around anymore. Unfortunately, I would call him on his birthday, and the last time I called him, his wife said, "I'm ever so sorry, Jeffrey, to tell you that he just passed away an hour ago." But what a coincidence that he's linked to Camp X when Jackie was living there. Back to you.
Oh, that is a cool story, and very interesting. I know I saw one on Facebook this weekend too, the Ontario Regiment, Because of VE Day, they couldn't, and this Corona thing, they couldn't do a parade and stuff like that. But they got 4 or 5 vehicles together, and they went over past. He was a sergeant in the army. He was a World War II vet. His last name was White, I believe. He lives here in Oshawa. And so they drove over to his place, and his family was there visiting, and they had him outside where they could social distance. And they had it all planned out for when this convoy would come up, and they got out and they gave him a bouquet of tulips that were sent from the Netherlands government, as well as a special pin. So it was really quite interesting. So if you're on Facebook, go to the Ontario Regiment, and you should be able to find that.
Yeah, thanks, Laird. And we are very fortunate to be associated with Campex. And I said to Jackie, so I went for a walk there with Lynn Hodgson, and we would walk along the beach, and we'd see various little bits of, radio transmitters, valves, and what have you, washed up on the beach. And she said she doesn't even know where it is. And I said, well, what about the monument? She doesn't know where that is either. So I'm going to take her down there and show her the place and where I know. And that. Any case, Jackie's quite excited about doing this project of getting the facts together, and I said I would help her. And I know Bob is also really good at getting things in order and what have you. So we'll be requesting his presence to help out. Back to you, Led.
Excellent. Well, it's nice that Jackie's got, and okay, that's clear.